Welcome to this week's Am I the A-hole episode, where we'll be reading predicaments posted by Reddit users and deciding whether the OP is the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I won't raise her child after she abandoned him? I, 21F, am in college, working part-time and barely keeping my life together as it is. My sister, 27F, who has always been more free-spirited than responsible, recently left her 4-year-old son with our parents and just disappeared. She quit her job, packed a bag and went on some soul-searching trip, leaving no real explanation beyond a vague text saying she needed to find herself. Now, our parents are getting older, and taking care of a toddler full-time is wearing them down. They've been hinting that I should step in and help more. This has slowly turned into outright suggestions that I should take him in full-time, essentially becoming his guardian. I love my nephew, but I am not in a position to be anyone's mother right now. I have my studies, a tight budget, and no space for a child in my life. I told my parents and sister that while I can babysit here and there, I won't take full responsibility for him. I reminded them that he's her child, not mine. When my sister called, I finally confronted her. I told her she needed to figure out her situation and come back for her son. She got angry, accused me of abandoning family, and said I should step up since I'm the one who has their life together. My parents are also upset with me. They think I'm being selfish and that I need to grow up and take on more responsibility for the sake of my family. I feel guilty, but at the same time, it's not like I chose to have a child. Am I the a-hole for standing my ground and refusing to become a full-time parent to my nephew? Should I just sacrifice my current life to help my family? There's so much wrong with this, but no, you're not the a-hole, and definitely shouldn't change your life as fallout from your sister's terrible choices. You cannot act flaky and irresponsible your whole life and then use that as an excuse to dump your responsibilities onto someone else. Having a child is a decision she's already made, and a responsibility she's already taken up. One that you can't just pass on to someone else. You don't get to decide later that you're too free-spirited to take care of a child. She's already had the chance to make that choice. There are some great comments on this post though. Branch Bark Leaf comments in response to a line of the post that says, "She got angry and accused me of abandoning family." That's rich. You're the one who's abandoning family. Tell her to look in the mirror. Not the a-hole. I feel so bad for the children in these situations. Please tell her to get her tubes tied so she doesn't have any more free spirit pregnancies. Then Invisible comments in response to this saying, "Right? The lion, the witch, and the audacity of this bitch." I don't know who's more of an a-hole here though. The sister who's obviously had a baby under the assumption that she can just dump it on her sister when she's bored of it, or the parents who are not only accepting and enforcing this behaviour, but consider OP's life so insignificant that they expect her to drop it completely in a second just so her sister can frolic off into La La Land. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I the a-hole for making a post about my daughter's favourite celebrity being rude to us? My daughter and I were recently on vacation. We spent the day in an area that's known to have a lot of rich or famous people, and toward the end of the day we saw one of my daughter's favourite celebrities, we'll call her A, walking out of a store. My daughter ran to the store, but when she got near A, she was stopped by security. They said that A's there with her daughter for her daughter's birthday and wants to focus on her daughter. My daughter was very upset because she's been a fan of A for a very long time, so she tried again for a picture but was turned away. My daughter was crushed, so later that night I made a post talking about my experience with A. How she wouldn't let anyone go near her and her daughter, the fact her security was rude, and her not being willing to stop for a couple of seconds for a picture. I understand it's her daughter's birthday, but a 1-minute interaction with a fan isn't going to ruin her day, and if it does, that girl needs to learn that the world doesn't revolve around her. We'll come back to that. The post ended up getting a lot of attention, and a lot of people actually said my daughter and I were being entitled for expecting A to interrupt her daughter's birthday for everyone that wants a picture. My husband also saw the post and said he couldn't believe that I would bash her for trying to spend the day with her daughter. I'm not trying to bash her for spending the day with her daughter, but she wouldn't be where she is without her fans, so I think she at least owes it to them to take a picture. Am I the a-hole for making the post about A? A random bunch of letters quotes in the comments the part of the post that says, "That girl needs to learn that the world doesn't revolve around her," with a great response and says, "Kinda the lesson I'm thinking you and your daughter need to learn, to be honest." Which is exactly what I was thinking. You are the a-hole. You don't have the right to be upset about this. No one is obliged to give you their attention just because you know who they are. But ignoring that for a second, it's her daughter's birthday, and you think that you as a fan deserve her attention more. She's just living her life, and she's allowed to focus on her daughter for a day. And I know you feel bad that you couldn't give your daughter what she wanted, but try and empathise with her daughter for a minute. How do you think it would feel for her if her mum kept leaving her alone for a minute to take pictures with strangers on her birthday? Ornery Ad leaves a good comment in response to this. OP, you're the a-hole. A celebrity's life is packed to the gills with scheduled events. They need to also schedule time with their kids in order to make it happen and not get swamped by professional events. Celebrity A scheduled time with her daughter for her daughter's birthday. Yes, her daughter is more important to her than your daughter is, no matter how big of a fan your daughter is. And saying she could have taken a minute for your daughter, that's not how it works. That's not what would happen. First of all, she'd be telling her daughter that even during the celebration of her daughter's birthday, a random other girl, neither of them has ever met, is more important to her than her own daughter. Her daughter probably misses out on a lot of time with her mum because of how heavily her mum is scheduled. Expecting to be able to interrupt the daughter's birthday on demand so your daughter can get a picture is unbelievably rude and entitled. And reducing both A and her daughter from the status of human beings to mere props for your enjoyment. Second, once A did it for your daughter, people would notice and they'd be swamped by other kids each wanting just one picture. The only way they can have their private birthday celebration is to just say no to every entitled mum and her golden child. There's no way to say yes to one and no to all the others, without causing much unhappiness and bad publicity. Oh, and you'd be ruining her own daughter's birthday. But obviously you don't care about that. Learn some manners. Very well said. Am I the a-hole for not paying rental fees for a pencil? I, 19F, am currently a sophomore university student who is taking a basic art course for a GPA boost. Grade point average for everyone else not in America. I'm about 1 month into the course, and things have been going smoothly for the most part. On the second day of class, I forgot my pencil case and had no drawing utensils. Obviously, this is problematic for an art class. I asked my seat neighbour, Danielle, to lend me a pencil. The pencil she lent me was one of those nice mechanical pencils. I looked up the brand online and they go for about $21. I used the pencil for the class period but decided to hold on to it because I might need it for other classes. Oh, my a-hole senses are tingling. I was in a rush so I stuffed it into my tote bag. To make a long story short, I ended up losing the pencil. You suck! When I told Danielle this, she insisted that I pay her $5 a month until the pencil is returned. I agreed in order to pacify her, and because I knew she could not be serious. Last Friday, she requested my first instalment. I told her I would not be paying for a pencil and that she was making a big deal since she had 2 more of the exact same pencil. She claims I have no respect for other people's property and that I'm a jerk. She's also been discussing the matter with mutual friends and making things awkward. I'm starting to feel like the crazy one here. Am I the a-hole for not paying rental fees for a pencil? So, you know that it's an expensive pencil, and you take it, without permission. Then, you lose it, after obviously not paying it much regard after you took it, without permission. And now you're annoyed that there are consequences for your actions. No, you're not the a-hole for not paying rental fees for a pencil. You're the a-hole for not buying her another one of the same pencil. Honestly, I respect her a lot for confronting you about it. It doesn't matter if she has others, That's $21 of hers that you stole and then lost. A lot of people in the comments are saying pretty much the same things. Taking it wasn't your call, and if you lose it, you replace it. Am I the a-hole for not knowing a candle wasn't supposed to be lit? I went to the bathroom last night and it was stinky. So, being the considerate boyfriend I am, I lit the candle my girlfriend left on the top of the toilet, and then we went to walk the dogs. The candle looked like most scented candles I've seen. Round glass, tan coloured wax inside, smelled good. Had f***ing wicks. We get back and the smoke alarm goes off. The house is cloudy, but no worse than burning food in the oven. The smoke's worse in the bathroom, so I blow out the candle and she tells me that you're not supposed to light that candle. WTF, why would it have wicks? Why would she put it on top of the toilet? To me, it's like having a doormat you're not supposed to step on in front of your door. Do most guys know about this? She seems mad at me, but I told her it's crazy to do that. Am I the a-hole? I don't know where I stand on fake candles posing as real candles, but to light a candle you've never used before and then leave the house? I feel like even with a normal candle you're taking a bit of a risk there. While it was stupid and could have been ultimately catastrophic, I don't think you're an a-hole for lighting the candle. You did it so the bathroom wouldn't stink. It was ultimately a considerate thing to do and came from a good place. But leaving the house while your girlfriend was totally unaware what you've done was really stupid. I'm not sure how you lit it though. I assume you just had a lighter on you, because if there was a lighter in there, then that's really walking tightly over the boundary of her fault. Concrete Dandelion goes quite hard on OP in the comments. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the 3 instances of stupidity displayed in this post. The girlfriend put something not supposed to be lit but looking like a candle somewhere and didn't tell a person regularly using the room that it's not a candle. OP lit up a piece of decoration without asking if he was allowed to. I don't get the appeal of them, but many people have decorative candles that they put up as part of a room decoration and with no intention of having them lit. This is such a widespread thing that I can't imagine anyone not knowing about it. But also, the idea of just lighting up a candle that hasn't been lit before seems strange to me. Don't touch other people's stuff if you don't have permission. And finally, what you mentioned, don't leave candles unattended. Ever. Especially when nobody knows they're lit. If the girlfriend had known before leaving the house, she could have acted in time instead of dealing with a mess. The longest I leave a candle unattended is to swiftly use the bathroom or start the coffee machine. And that's when there's no child in the house, and either no dog in the house, or the candle is inaccessible even to intelligent, creative dogs with great climbing skills. I'll be honest, I didn't much understand that last sentence, but maybe you can make sense of it. OP makes an update though, which I think is worth mentioning. It is a f***ing candle, like a candle. I've been at work all night, but I got home and just looked at the bottom. Instructions say, trim wick to 1/4 before lighting. I did not do this as being the apparent caveman, I see candle, I light candle. She's asleep, so I can't rub her face in it after she said the candle isn't supposed to be lit, they're not meant for that. But this is all I need. Am I the a-hole for leaving it lit for a quick walk with her and the dogs? Yes. Am I the a-hole for thinking this stupid thing was in fact a candle? No. Evidently, I did need to cut the wick and take off the plastic peel, but they should make these damn things ready to go. Here's a lesson to anyone out there about to light a candle. Apparently they have instructions. I now know she was wrong, and we never got into a major fight, so I will humbly and in the least petty way just leave the candle upside down next to the sink, so when she wakes up first to brush her teeth, she can know that this candle was in fact meant to be lit and that I was right. I may be dumb, but I can hang my hat up knowing I had every right to light it. Thank you very much for listening. Leave a comment if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe.